Hi, I'm Karen McGilvray, Senior Editor with Highlights, and today I'm here to answer some questions about social emotional learning, or SEL. So the first question I see is, what is SEL? SEL stands for Social Emotional Learning. This is learning focused on healthy emotional development and development of interpersonal relationships. According to CASEL, and I'll read this, SEL is the process through which all young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities, manage emotions, and achieve personal and collective goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain supportive relationships, and make responsible and caring decisions. So the next question I have here is, what or who is CASEL? CASEL stands for the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning. They have laid out 5 broad but interrelated areas of social emotional competence, and they are: number 1, self-awareness, understanding one's own emotions, personal goals, and values. Number 2 is self-management, regulating one's own emotions and behaviors. Number 3 is social awareness, understanding, empathizing, and feeling compassion for those with different backgrounds. 4 is relationship skills, helping with establishing and maintaining healthy and rewarding relationships and acting in accordance with social norms. And the 5th area is responsible decision making, learning how to make constructive choices about personal behavior and social interaction across diverse situations. So the next question we have here is, how do American educators use SEL? In the U.S., educators use SEL to prepare children in these 5 key competencies to really create students who are confident, healthy, valuable contributors, and active members of society. According to CASEL, students who have received high-quality SEL education do better on achievement test scores, have less behavior problems, and display more confidence. So what does this actually look like in the classroom? Let's think about a few examples of how some of these themes might be played out in classroom activities. So for example, looking at the theme of self-awareness, understanding one's own emotions, personal goals, and values. A teacher might provide opportunities for a journaling activity where children have daily or weekly opportunities for self-reflection. Or thinking about a personal art project, a child might make a collage of me, and these are the things that are important to me. These are the things that make me special. Children can present them to the class and really share with the class who they are and what's important to them. These posters could be hung around the classroom, and students could do a gallery walk and really get to know their fellow classmates and themselves in relation to their fellow classmates in a new way. When reading stories, children can talk about how they relate to a character or a situation. Maybe I'm like Jack because what Jack did reminded me of something in my life, and really make those personal connections and see how a story might relate to how they live or how they're feeling. Looking at another theme, something like social awareness, understanding, empathizing, and feeling compassion for those with a different background. In a classroom, reading stories, a teacher might prompt students that really require a child to consider another perspective. Well, how do you think Jack is feeling? Well, how would you feel in that situation? What might you have done differently? What might you have done in the same vein? Looking at relationship skills, another key theme area. A teacher might have children really look at a scene and how 2 characters interacted and then say, well, how could Jack have been a better friend? How was he a good friend? What could he have done differently? Maybe students could be assigned to rewrite a scene in which Jack made a different choice in his relationship, or maybe the students could write a scene and act it out, put on a play that maybe changed the direction of a scene or modeled different ways of interacting between 2 friends. Finally, looking at something like responsible decision making. In read aloud discussions, Teachers might ask, well, how did Jack's decision impact his friends, his classroom, his team? What could he have done differently? How was it helpful, or how was it challenging? Playing cooperative games in class to demonstrate how one person's actions might impact the rest of the group is another way to really help children understand this idea of responsible decision making and their responsibilities to the larger group. At highlights, the famous pair Goofus and Gallant often model the two ends of a responsible decision-making spectrum. That's another example. Our next question is, how is SEL incorporated into Highlights products? So while SEL is a current trend in education, Highlights is not new to SEL. For over 75 years, Highlights has been inspiring children to be their best selves and really helping them to become curious, confident, creative, and caring. And these 4 C's are really at the heart of everything that we create for children, and at the heart of the experiences that we strive to produce and provide in terms of our content. Our Voices Leveled Library, our 4C Voices reading collection, and our Read with Highlights reading collection are all full of social and emotional themes. Our Voices Leveled Library, for example, is centered around 6 key social emotional themes such as friends and family, perspective taking, identity awareness, social awareness, conflict resolution, and good citizens. Our Read with Highlights collection helps children to explore concepts such as friendship, family relationships, and problem solving. As children make connections between character situations and their own lives, through reading these stories, they build empathy, they build perspective, they think through how to solve problems, they become aware of other perspectives, other ways of living. And as children progress through the series and the readers, they will develop character and core social skills while also deepening their reading skills and their English knowledge. So again, at the heart of everything we do at Highlights, I would say, is this SEL core, the desire to celebrate children and childhood and to help children grow into curious, confident, creative, and caring people. Thanks for joining us for this quick Q&A. I hope to see you again at another Highlights webinar.